Mayor Fetter?
Here.
Councilmember Clark? Here. Councilmember Johnson?
Here.
Councilmember Cobb?
Here.
Councilmember LaFever?
Here.
And Councilmember Crum.
Here.
Okay, are there any amendments or removals to tonight's agenda?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Okay, Councilmember LaFever.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Fauch. And Councilmember Crum.
Aye.
Tonight's agenda has been approved. Agenda item number 5 is approve the consent agenda. This is the approval of the minutes of the November 5th, 2012 regular city council meeting. Set date of Monday, December 10th, 2012 at 7 p.m. for our next regular city council meeting, and approve the claims register.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second it.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Councilmember LaFever.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Fauch. And Councilmember Crum.
Aye.
Tonight's consent agenda has been approved. Agenda item number 6. This is discuss health insurance renewal. I've got that in your packets. We'll need to approve this at the next meeting for sure. I wanted to get this out there in case anybody had any questions. We need to go back to the insurance company on or anything. Right now, as you see, our first column there, if we were to not make any changes, we would get an almost 14% increase in insurance rates, which is pretty steep, and most of that's just in their main rate adjustments, so it's not anything to do with any claims or anything. If we change the co-pays a little bit, or the deductibles, we can get it quite a bit lower. I know we usually try to help out as much as we can, but as every company nowadays, sometimes we have to give a little bit more to keep from having these large increases. The second column there with a little more copay and raising the deductibles about $500, and the out-of-pocket maximum we could have a 6%. And, the last one on the column there we could get all the way down to about a 0.5%, but that one really raises things, so I don't think we want to go all the way down there.
Do you have anything besides United Healthcare proposal for this?
We don't.
No, I think we have some options here. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
I think we've been with United Healthcare for about 4 years now, maybe. When we changed over to this plan, we had them before in some other areas, but we changed to the insurance company with our self-insurance. So we've been with them for about 4 years, I think.
Have employees reviewed this at all?
Have you ever seen it? No.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you too.
Okay.
Because it's a trade-off between deductible and copay.
Right.
It comes down to,
Yeah.
and I know how I might decide, but I want your input.
Yeah, and I just wanted to get it out there tonight, knowing that the end of the year is coming up and we need to renew, so that's, I didn't expect a final decision tonight. I just wanted to make sure we looked at it, if anybody had any questions that we needed to go back to the insurance company on or anything like that, that we got those together.
So if we could get this out, I think, to the employees and let them look at it so they can give us some feedback,
Yeah.
questions, their comments on it, that'd be helpful.
Is there anything else you need me to ask of the insurance company or have anything we need to send it in? Okay, we'll get this out, and then if they have any questions, we'll have them get those back to us early so we can be ready, and so at the next council meeting we can have this ready to go. So. If they just want to write it on a piece of paper and you can scan it in and send it to us,
Okay.
we'll be fine. And that way we'll all have the questions if there are any. Agenda item number 7. This is discuss extra pay for Deputy Clerk Kaiser. And Mike and I talked a little bit about this, and Mike, do you want to talk about kind of what we propose?
Yeah, Randy and I had a chance to discuss this, and what we came up with since about July, well, since July 1st, not about, since July 1st, Maryland has worked 334.25 hours of overtime. Doing the math, that comes out to about 18 hours per week of overtime. And again, I do understand, and I think it was made, Skip and several folks last time, that she does get compensated as well for overtime as she works those additional hours. But I would, I guess as Randy and I looked at this, what we're proposing is a flat bonus. We kind of call it spot bonus at the bank for going above and beyond the normal course of duties for the extra hours and the stress and the work outside of the normal duties, taking time away from her family. What we would propose is a $1,500 spot bonus. Hopefully, after taxes are taken out of that, she could take home $1,000 of that. And we think she's most deserving. Again, she didn't really sign up for this additional workload. And we appreciate her willingness to stick it out and her commitment to the city of Logan. So that was our proposal.
And I think I expressed some of the concerns that you reiterated in the last meeting. So you quoted some figures, 334 hours in overtime in this from July to now, some time period, averaging 18 hours a week
Of overtime a week.
of overtime. And that's at like a time and a half rate. Do you know what that's come to?
I don't know.
Okay. A little more than I had expected to see. The overtime and the overtime issues and the hours, we're seeing that on a monthly basis. I guess I was expecting more of a appreciation or a kind of a appreciation bonus, something of that type. Acknowledge that not that significant of a bonus. That's like my sentiments. But that's all.
I would agree with that, Mike. If one of our street workers were in the same position, would we be doing this for them as well?
Yeah. That's my personal feeling.
Your personal feeling. I think Maryland deserves something, but I'm kind of thinking this is a lot.
I guess the way, you said it was 334 hours, correct?
Yep.
And it comes out to about 20 weeks. So from July 1st to present day, she's made quite a bit of overtime. Like almost $7,000 worth of overtime. So I guess, I mean, I agree that we need to give her something, but I think, I personally think $1,500 is a little high too, so.
The $1,500 is high, but she has given up vacation time when she wanted to paint her house and everything else that she's wanted to do that we've taken away from her. So I think we need to give her a little bit of something to make up for the times that she goes home and works on minutes and other projects that she can't spend with her family. And she cut, weekends and other times that she's come in here to do things that we've asked her, that some of the times I know she hasn't put down for pay. So I think she deserves it.
And I guess I would just like to add that, Marilyn has been great. I've seen her in here a lot of Saturdays, seen her on some Sundays. I know she takes minutes home to get them done after the meetings. She's going to do that again tonight because she is taking a day of vacation Wednesday, a well-deserved a day off. And right now, even though this seems a little high, we've got a lot of overtime hours there. And even as most salaried people, they wouldn't be required to work that many hours overtime if somebody were down for an extended period of time. Right now, even if we were to hire a new clerk, we're still, a month out before we'd even have anybody in here. And there's probably still going to be some overtime when somebody is, because she's going to have to get them up to speed on everything. So I mean, we've still got a lot of overtime that we're going to be looking at before we're out of this situation here. So that was kind of why we thought that, if we get her to about 1,000 take home, that's where we felt comfortable with that number. So.
You'd mentioned, Denny, about the times maybe she's not clocking. Is that part of the formula for coming up with the 1,500? It's just
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? Okay. Again, I feel that should be compensated for. I mean, there's no reason she shouldn't be getting paid for any work that she's doing on behalf of the company, on behalf of the city, and making sure that she's getting credit for every hour that she's doing overtime. I mean, there's a lot here, but if this doesn't represent everything, it should. I don't know how we make up for that. If the $1,000 represents that, then it does. If it doesn't, and there's some other formula. My concern also underlying this, and I think I might have touched on it, was as a precedence, do we come up with a formula? We've run into this before when coming up with kind of city policies. Where do we go the next time this happens? I think you mentioned something about the other city workers. What happens when somebody's out on extended medical leave or something and everybody else is toeing the line during that period? What formula did we use? Is it just an arbitrary number? How do we come to that? And I would want to be a little more precise, because as sure as we're here, we're going to get asked, how did we come up with it? What did we use? And we'll use this as a benchmark, and we won't know how we came up with it, or the questions will fly about, how did you figure that number? Well, we just came up with it. And it will set a precedence. It will be a number, I mean, that we work from there. That's my concern.
Yeah, I would say, Skip and Denny, first off, I personally don't know of any hours worked that she didn't put down, so it had nothing to do with that, because I agree with you. Marilyn, any hours that you work, you would put them down, and we'll pay you for those particular hours. As far as just the $1,500, and I didn't have some elaborate formula on that, you're exactly right. I just tried to think, let's do the right thing for our employees. And as I thought about what she makes on an annual basis, and as I thought about, the overtime that she put in, and there's no doubt she's being compensated for her time. I'm not disagreeing with that. But she has certainly gone above and beyond. Putting these extra hours in, although compensated, has disrupted her life for the last 4 months. And I wasn't aware of some of the things that she's given up, but I just think it's a token of our appreciation, going above and beyond, staying committed. She certainly could have just given up and said, you know what, this is just more work than I signed up for, and really left us in a bind. So I think it's money well spent, and I just think it's something we need to do. So I'll make a motion to go ahead and pay a bonus to Marilyn for a flat rate of $1,500.
I'll second it.
Okay, are there any other questions or discussion?
I mean, I still bring up, I'm still uneasy about the way we've come up with the number. No matter how the vote turns out, and again, I'm more looking at mine, but I still have some concerns and reservations about that. I'd like to see, I'd like to see something else. I mean, I'd like to give her a, gift certificate somewhere, target something.
I think
Show her appreciation, not set a wage or a bonus expectation there under the circumstances.
I think that if we look back at where we were at when we did this with the police department, where we took a percentage, a pretty good percentage of the other officers' wage that we're paying out when they're down for months at a time. If we did that, we took the percentage that we were paying Angela and gave her that percentage, we'd be a lot higher than where we're at right now.
It's Apple. But it's, yeah, I believe that's one of the points, doesn't sound like it is. I think that's one of the points that I tried to make last time, is that this is not apples to apples. It's apples and oranges when you're talking about salaried employees. That's just the facts of the matter. It's not salary, not hourly. They don't get paid for coming in and doing that call time or being available for it. They're zero, they're salaried. I mean, I know how that is. I have a salaried job. I come in, I do something extra. I don't get any compensation for that. I mean, we're talking, if Nick's calculation, what'd you say, Nick, 7,000? What?
7,945.
Okay, so you've got a figure there, and we're talking about another 1,000 or 1,500 on that. So 8,000 and 8,000 plus.
7,000 was for the hours work. She actually put the time in.
Yeah, I understand.
What the 1,500 is the disruption in her life and staying committed and working those extra hours. She didn't have to work those extra hours.
True.
Because she did get a compensator, I understand that.
Right.
But she gave up a lot.
But she gave up a lot. So that's my take. And I'll be honest, the company that I work for, there's a lot of formulaic things, but we have a program kind of called the spot bonus program. And it's just do the right thing for the employee when you feel it's necessary. There's a pool there that we use. I know we don't have that pool, and I know that we might be setting a precedent, but I don't ever think that you can go wrong by doing the right thing for the employee. And I think that personally, I could sit down and look at all the situations that may come up in the future as long as I'm here, and make an equitable recommendation.
We have a similar program, Mike, with the spot bonuses. It must not be as well funded as the banks. Ours are nowhere near that level, but and that's kind of what I anticipated, was some spot bonus or some
So we come
token.
from
We come from just the dollar amount, I think, is all we're, you and I think, again, I don't know where the others stand on that.
I know that, like with the salaried employees, we do have a little bit built in there. We've tried to bump up the police departments, trying to keep people here, and naturally, you can tell that's still not working as well as we'd like it to be. And they get paid a little bit more already to build some of that in. But if you look at what we're paying them right now, we're paying them $1,700 a month in bonuses between the two of them for their extra time. And so $1,500 for a one-time charge, I don't think is out of line, even though she has been getting other. I mean, we're
for the apples and apples. Oranges,
we're 8 months in, and we've got a lot more money spent on the police department side than what we do on this side.
You're talking about 2 employees, and you're talking about 1, and you're talking about 8,000 or 8,500 versus whatever the figure is for them. I want to look at it. I mean, it's the first I'm seeing it, and I'm uncomfortable with the level of money. It's not what I expected. I'm not opposed to it, but
So what would you recommend?
yeah, we can just free on.
Again, and I can go back and we can get those other numbers, but I believe she's deserving. Okay, I have a motion and a second. Councilmember LaFever.
Nay.
Councilmember Clark. Councilmember Johnson.
Nay.
Councilmember Fouch.
Aye.
Councilmember Powell.
Aye.
At this time, that amount of bonus is turned down, and we'll come back with another figure. Agenda item number 8, update on 28E agreements. Mike, you had asked to see some actual numbers here, where we're at. The first one you have there is our landfill assessment. We've got 4 different agreements where we pay out each year as a 28E agreement. We've got a couple others that don't cost us anything. They're just agreements like with the county for emergency services and stuff. Our landfill assessments currently are $38,358 a year. They base that on population and what it takes to cover their loans and stuff that are out. Their loans are starting to look better. They got one paid off last year, so next year we may get to see a little bit of a decrease. It just kind of depends. We did have a landfill meeting last week, and they are looking at, we've got a piece of equipment that may need replaced and some other lagoon type work done to do out there. So that might keep it for another year, but that's where we're at on that one. So,
Are there any other changes throughout the year with any kind of census figures and models they use?
no, this one changes just on the census, so every 10 years.
Only time.
That's the only time that changes.
So our ranking here will stay the
Right, yep. So, and that one, again, like I mentioned last time, if we were to opt out, it is like a 90-day opt-out, but our current share would be about $500,000 to leave that 2080 agreement. That's the agreement we have, is that as long as it's open, we have to help support the post-closure and everything, which once it closes, you still have 30 years worth of expenses that has to be monitored. So, and they have to have so much money set aside to cover that. So, the second one there that you have is the Harrison County Humane Society. This was the new one from last year. This one is one that will be reviewed every 3 years for a cost increase to see where they're at. So we can either opt out or they can opt out, depending on what they want to do. Our annual contribution, excuse me, is $2,331.68. They base that on the population, and if they have any cities that don't join, it doesn't make ours go up at this time. That was a set fee for 3 years. So in 3 years, if some of these other cities don't join, they may try to ask for where we'd be able to opt out at that time. So, and that one we pay monthly also. So both of those we pay monthly.
Did all cities join?
I'm not sure if they have or not. Last I heard, I thought there were 2 cities that hadn't, and I'm not sure about the rule. The third one you have in there, that's our one with Harrison County Development Corp. That one, they used a 1980 census to do that. Our current share right now is $34.65 a year. Yeah, it's that one. And that's been unchanged since 1989. So. And how often do we pay that one, Marilyn? Is that one a monthly? The Harrison County Development? That's it, twice a year, okay. The last one is with the fire department, which is a very important one. This is for their services. Theirs, as you see under number 1 there, the city will pay the association the sum it receives by a tax levy of 60.75 cents per $1,000 of tax valuation. Yeah. Sorry, I had them all. Yeah, keep it, please. Okay. Sorry, I left this one in the office. So.
What are you looking for, just the sum?
The sum, yeah, so that you know. This one's paid twice a year. This one changes every year with our taxable valuation. So if we have a taxable valuation that goes way up, then they receive more money. If it were to go down, then they would receive less money. Because it's 60.75 cents per $1,000 valuation. So.
Has that been staying pretty consistent? I'm trying to think back on.
There's been a couple fluctuations in it, what she printed off for me, but it's not been huge.
We normally have these folks come in and periodically give kind of an update on an annual event or something we have to request.
We'd request if we wanted to know what they are. The fire department doesn't usually come in and give us anything. Usually the only time that they've been is just if on the very first time that they've asked to have it, to create the 2080 agreement, they come in and present it.
Updates on their equipment, things they've been working on.
Oh, okay.
You know, we have people here that are involved in that, we probably do it.
And I'm sure that Craig would be happy to come in.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marilyn, sorry about that. For the last three times we paid them, it's been $10,800. That's been this year. And before that, it was just over 10,000. So it's been creeping up a little bit over the years, but that's natural with the way that the taxes have gone. Everybody sees that in the property taxes, valuation's gone up, so we pay them a little bit more. Looks like in the last 2 years, it's gone up about $300. So.
Is that half, or is that the full amount?
Sorry, 300 per half, so it'd be $600 a year.
I'm sorry, the total, then the
The
10,000.
total, the 10,800, that's paid twice, so that's a half. Yep. And that one's been in effect since 1998, so we've got a great fire department here, so I think it's been a great working relationship with them. So does anybody have any other questions about those, or want to see anything else?
I appreciate it.
Okay, agenda item number 9, update on city clerk hiring. Just give you the update. Right now, we've had
That you're not aware of.
2 interviews, and have you got anywhere on setting any other ones up or talking to
I
anybody?
haven't, I've gotten a couple callbacks that
Okay.
aren't going to be available on our original list. I think I may be aware of a couple of those, some of them we expected, but that's all at this point. If you want to get ahead.
So we've still got a couple more, though, that we've worked in, correct?
Correct.
So how many total have applied? I think it was 7 or 8 last time.
Right, I think the 8
That's
was the
still
final.
8?
8 was the final count, I believe.
And I believe 2 had previous experience, what I would call previous municipality or government type experience.
We'll look at that.
And have we interviewed those folks yet, you know? Everyone, okay.
You're talking about, need to be specific on that.
And is our goal to get somebody with experience?
Our goal is to get the most qualified person for the job. Period.
And what have we done lately to attract candidates?
Beyond our original.
We haven't done any other advertising. We've got the current pool, and we've still got a couple of those to interviews. So.
Have we thought, Randy and Skip, about at least some part-time help until we do that? So we don't have 334 hours of overtime?
That's come up at multiple times. I think we originally offered that, wanted to make that well aware. I think we talked to Randy about that, and Marilyn wanted to make sure that if there's ever like a holiday, you're taking a vacation day, something like that, we've brought in help in the past in those situations. We, obviously we're constrained a little more, but we should be taking advantage of that.
I mean to
available.
supplement as well, just to work side by side with her, not just when she's not there.
I agree, the same situation should apply. If there's tasks that can be given, answering phones, which is normally what we've used, the part-time help for. That's been my understanding, that we've used that and have that still available.
And to follow that, we do have, in this Wednesday, Maryland's off. There again, we don't have anybody that would have the caliber of knowing everything. I mean, if they're here, they basically answer the phone, take the message. And we're grateful to have a couple of ladies that are willing to come in and do that. But, then we've got a lot of follow-up when Maryland does get back. Unless it's just something that the guys can take care of, which does happen. But as far as doing daily deposits and stuff like that, we don't have anybody right now that would be qualified to come in and help do that. So.
Well, I know everybody's busy, but I would just hope that we could, move it along like we all do and try to get this thing, somebody hired.
So by first of next week, we might know more about his testing, and
I hope by tomorrow, yeah.
even by tomorrow.
And he was bringing all of his college stuff down to Iowa, putting the academy, with him, look it over, make sure we can, maybe get him through the short course.
The next step there would be to bring it in for interviews and
Yeah, so, well, he's going to go in for a second interview tomorrow after he gets done all off.
Any other questions on that right now? So hopefully we get a good report tomorrow, and if so, hopefully we got somebody to make an opportunity.
What happened to the police committee? We just dissolved that or what?
No, we're still kind of there. For the police officer hiring, we've kind of allowed, I know that Chief's been working on it mostly. I think Kyle, you kind of helped a little bit on going over some of the applicants and doing the testings, the testing they did down at the track and everything. So we're allowing them to pick who they would like to see here. That is part of the police chief's job, is to actually do that. He's supposed to bring somebody forward to us and present them to us for our approval, or for your approval, sorry. I don't get voted now, but so those two have been looking at most of the applicants. And where we're at.
So we still have a committee?
Yeah, we haven't had a meeting for a long time. Any other questions? Okay. Move on to agenda item number 11. This is an update on the nuisance abatements. I know that they've been very busy with a lot of those, and we've been seeing some good improvement. Do you know about how many you guys have done so far?
6 that we've done.
6 that are totally cleaned up and several more in process.
Oh, we're getting ready now to start on the buildings. We got most of the stuff in the cars.
Elmer's done a wonderful job being shorthanded and stuff. He can't spend the hours that he can on it, but he's done a really good job at it. We've got some properties that we're working on as far as getting them farther along is cleaned up. And then we've got some properties that are kind of bulking on it, so we're working on it and trying to get her done. Numbers done good.
I'm sorry, you have some properties that are.
They're kind of, they've got some problems besides, the cleanup problem, so.
More challenging than some of the others.
Well, they've got other problems, and once they get those problems done, then we'll take care of them and work on them. Yeah,
So multiple problems.
yeah. One's got a huge problem, and so we're gonna wait and let him get it cleaned up and work on the cleanup problem.
Any other questions on where we're at with those? Like Dennis said, he's done a great job, and hopefully we can keep up on him now. It seems like it's easy to let go, so we'll just, as we see him, we'll bring something up, and hopefully we can keep up on him. We won't have so many all at one time. Excuse me. So they won't take so long to get taken care of. So, and they won't have to spend as much time doing it as what they do right now. So.
Well, one nice thing about it is, once you get a couple people working on their properties, then a few other people will get, oh, maybe we need to clean up our property. And so that's kind of how it's been working too.
I think a lot of it's helped too is the 7-day notice. Great, because you just go in and serve them in 7 days. It's either get it cleaned up in 7 days or you can get it for them.
Yeah, we used to allow 30 days for some reason, and it's not in an ordinance or anything, so it's just a reasonable amount of time, and this is what a lot of other cities do, and this is what they've decided that it's the best course of action, and we get things done. And then you don't forget about them also. If they've only got 7 days, if you give them 30 days, sometimes you forget and you give them too. So this helps us out keep on top of them, I think. Anything else? Okay. Agenda item number 12, citizens' questions and comments. Judy, you on?
Well, I think Mr. Blackburn spoke.
Yeah, yeah.
How many properties that you own in Logan?
Yeah, sorry, come on up, Nikki.
Vicki, come on up.
Niagara Trail, Nikki Allen. I actually want to just talk to you, Marilyn. When you leave for the day, does anybody else answer the phone calls when you're gone? If you get somebody. Does anybody else return messages? No. Does anybody else make copies, fill out papers, anything? No. It's kind of what I figured, because I have a job just like yours. And if I'm not there, it doesn't get done. So no matter who you get to come in and help her, she's not getting any help, because it sits and waits for her until she gets back. Marilyn, when you do that, is it more stress on you if you miss a day? Yeah, it is me too. I understand that. It's not worth it to her to miss a day, so she comes every day and she spends extra hours. I think it's ridiculous that you guys did not give her that bonus tonight.
Terry Francis, 509 North 2nd. I just have one question, and it has to deal with the consent agenda. Would any of the council persons or Randy divulge what the attorney fees that were on this pay time, since he was held over from the last one for not having it complete? Was that on this? Was that on this pay time? Could you divulge what the fee was that was paid out?
That was $2,332.80.
$2,300. Okay. At least 3 of the council persons don't even bat an eye when that bill comes in, but we can't take care of our own employees. Unfortunate.
Linda Francis, 509 North 2nd Avenue. I have 2 major concerns. One, I am asking the entire council, anyone else that speaks in this meeting, why is it only the citizens and mostly the mayor use a microphone so everyone can hear what is said? We've discussed this before. You always make a, oh yeah, we'll do that. Well, here sits the microphone. We cannot hear what you're saying. If this is the record for the meeting, then you need to make a concerted effort, please, so that if we are not able to attend the meeting, we can hear what you have said. My second thing is I'm asking, does anyone have the job description for Marilyn? Assist the city clerk in preparing for council meetings. I see a lot of, mostly things that should be able to be completed in a 40-hour week, not all the extra overtime. And the way and may I ask, because it is public information, what your hourly wage is, Marilyn? $13.78. She's getting paid $3 an hour more than someone to flip hamburgers. And we've been using her time, the way I calculate it, since July. That's almost 6 months. By the time if you hire someone, it will be 6 months. It's a pretty low bonus if it was awarded.
Susan Bond, 1010 Skyline Drive. I would just like to ask Marilyn, did you get a vacation since July? 2 days.
I have 13.
You have what?
13 days.
13 days to use.
For December?
Before December?
31st. January 1st?
End of the year.
By December 31st. So,
Roll 1 week over.
so who's going to fill in when you need to take your days off? Are you going to come in, Skip? Dee, are you? Nick, are you?
I already told her I'd help her.
I mean, did you get a vacation since July? Really? No vacation? Wow. Skip, did you get a vacation since July? More than 2 days?
Finish?
I'm waiting for a response. Because you have. I don't think it's fair that Marilyn hasn't. I don't think it's fair that you haven't looked hard for a new city clerk. You haven't contacted everybody that's applied. Why is that? Why? Because you're getting off cheaper instead of having 2 people in City Hall? I don't think the $1,500 is enough. You know, Judy, you were saying it was $500. They only want to give her a Happy Meal at McDonald's. You know? No, we don't go to Hungry Bowl. I'll never go to Hungry Bowl. I just think it's a disgrace. I just wish you would do your job. All of you, do your job.
Mike Johnson, and I'm not a citizen of the town, but I do have a business, 310 East 7th Street.
Turned on, Mike.
Is it on?
Turn on.
Did you guys hear that?
Yep.
Okay, good. This is for Marilyn also, and it doesn't have anything to do with a bonus. I think that you should give her a raise retroactively, going back from the time that you fired Angela, and that would take care of any formula that you had to figure to take into account some employee down the road. You just give her a raise back from the time of $1 or $1.50 an hour, and that should get her up a little bit and take care of anything you have in the future, like the next 6 months without a city clerk. So that's all I got.
Anyone else? Okay, moving on. There it is, okay. On the deputy clerk's report, Scott Boone and RC, they'll be putting up the city's Christmas decorations Sunday, November 25th, so we'll have those up here pretty soon. And then Loftus found a crack in the heat exchanger on our furnace here They could get a price back to us today. $28.50, so we'll be getting that repaired. So that'll probably be on the next claims report once that's fixed. Actually, we're out of warranty. It was a 10-year warranty, and we've been here about 12, so that wasn't on there. So that's all she had for the clerk's report. The other thing that I want to mention, I know that everybody knows this, it's been in the paper, so I'm just going to let everybody kind of know where we're at, even though it's not on here. Just that there has been a lawsuit filed against the city of Logan. We will be working with our insurance company on that, and the attorney there going forward, and we'll probably be having a couple of meetings with them to figure out where we need to go. I just want to let everybody know that the city has been received their notice, and that will be going forward. So. Anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Councilmember Fever.
Aye.
Councilmember Clark.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Fauch. And Councilmember Crum.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.